Regarding the site response analysis, you can run the Shake91 algorithm in this panel by inserting a single ground motion. You can do this either by importing from an external file, here clicking File in toolbar and import ground motion, for example in a TXT file, and you will choose the first line of values that is automatically retrieved by the application anyway, the last line, and also type of content and the number of acceleration and time columns. In this case, we have just one record, so time and acceleration columns, with the acceleration column being the second one and the time column be the first one. Lastly, you have to choose the input acceleration unit that is present in the file, in this case is G, and the output desired unit, in this case is the same, but if it is not, an automatic conversion will be applied. After you are finished, you click here OK, and it will be imported here. So you have to now import and define your set of curves in terms of material of the site. So you have this name here, but the important thing is that you have to decide the modulus preset, and you have a set of materials that from you can choose. And for example, you will choose the rock here. Also the dumping preset, you can choose maybe the same, so it's rock and the material name will be changed automatically to rock in this case. Then you see these curves in both modulus reduction curve and damping curve, and you can modify them by removing or adding some points, or just leaving them as they are and import them clicking OK. You have this material, okay, you can use only this one, or you can add more than one. For example, the first default one, you can import this one, and you have two types, two materials. You can import and adding curves as many time you want. After having selecting this type of materials and curves, you have then to choose them in order to create your soil profile, adding different layers. And you will add how many layers do you want. So for example, we will add, I don't know, 3 layers. You have to decide which type is this layer. So, and you have to choose from the types you inserted before. So one or two. In this case, the default is one, but maybe you can choose, I don't know, one of them to be the type 2, in this case rock. As you can see in this message here, you have to insert a thickness of 0 in the last layer you inserted, otherwise you cannot proceed. So in this case, this last layer is the third one, and we will insert a thickness of 0 here. So now the table is valid, as you can see in the message here. You can also change the number of sublayers, and this will affect the number of layers that are evaluated and processed by the application. So in this case is just 3, as you can see in the input iteration here. The input layers are a number of 3 just because we have these 3 here, but this will increase if we increase the number of layers by adding more layers, or even just by adding more sublayers, that is this NLN column. We can add something. For example, we put a number of 5 here, so we'll have a total of 5 sublayers. In fact, now the number of total layers is increased from 3 to 7. So we have 7 here, because if you sum the NLN here, the result is 7. So after we understood how this works, we can decide also some parameters of the algorithm, but the recommended one are these default ones. So at the end, we can click run Shake91 and run the algorithm. This will analyze the site response, and this will plot the input response and the surface response. The surface is red, the input is blue, and you can also see in the transfer tab which is the curve, and also in the spectra tab the comparison between the input and the surface spectrum. Also, if you're interested in it, you can look at the iterations that the algorithm did and how it performed, which were the values, the intermediate values of the algorithms. Finally, you can see a summary of all the points and all the values that were computed by the algorithm. At this point, you want maybe to export your results, so you will click on File, Export Results, choose a destination folder, for example download, And after you select it, this will download a bundle named Shake91 results with all the plots and values that we already saw in the application. You could do the same by importing inside the application just one ground motion from the ground motion selection. So you select just one, then you click Action, upper left in toolbar, and you click Go to Site Response Analysis. You choose the component, for example, the Y, and then you will, and here, you will go here with the same approach. You will do the same thing that we already did, but now with on this ground motion that we imported internally from ground motion selection panel.